everyone, how's it going? I wanted to do a quick video on the inventory. It's one of the things that I had trouble with when I first started playing. Um, I got lucky. Someone taught me how to do it and spent the time to show me. So that's basically a shout out to Bully. I appreciate it. It made the game a lot easier to get around and, get what I needed. So let's start with this. So every time in the beginning, you're going to make a character. You're going to start to play. And you're going to continuously go into your menu to get into your inventory to see what you need to do, how to do it, what you got. So when you first log in, you're always going to have this notification. Okay, what this notification is a daily reward. You should always pick it up. Some of them you'll use, some of them you won't, depending on who your character or what your character is. So when I get in, as you can see, I've taken the first week and I've already claimed everything. And now I'm on my second week. So tonight I'm going to get an experience scroll, 150% experience for 2 hours. Oh, this one's 1 hour. So I just claim it. And then tomorrow night I'll get this fortified meal. Okay, and so on and so forth. The next night I'll get 3 experience scrolls, 50% experience. So you always want to do that. Okay, if you want to actually purchase something, you can go in the Crown store. Go to your store, and there's usually a whole bunch of bonuses and extra things here. So I can get DLCs. I own all these. The only one I don't have is this one. But I have, Merkmere and Morrowind and Imperial City, Scalebreaker. I have all these DLCs. They're dungeons that I can go into. Quest starters. I've gotten all these. Upgrades. Certain things I can get. You can get a pet or an assistant, a banker, a merchant. So I have those already. They would be in my collections. Okay, so I go in my collections. I can change my appearance. So certain things that you can have, you can put on facial hair if you've gotten these. So I've collected that one. So if I wanted it, I could put it on. You can see that it changes and puts a beard on my character. Head markings. I've collected these. But I haven't collected these ones yet. So if I wanted to put on this, I could. Well, actually, I have a skin on, so you can't see it. So if I take my skin off and then go back to it, I can pick any one of these and it will change my character. See it? So that's just something that you can do. These are all things that you collect. You collect different hairstyles. Okay? Alright, so that's simple stuff. I have 2 houses right now. I have this one and the one I'm in right now. Okay. You get furnishing, fragments, assistants. I have the merchant and the banker right now. I haven't collected the smuggler yet. Okay, so that's just simple stuff. And you can go through that at your own time. But basically it's there. So, inventory. Right? This is where you're going to be the most. So your currency. This is what the character is actually holding. It's not what you have in the bank, but what you're holding. So my character up the top, I got 48,000 gold, 164 alliance points. 12 art stones, I have 33, but I don't have any vouchers. Okay. Now my account, everything underneath there, if I have 4 or 5 characters, I'll still have all these things under my account on each character. Okay. The gold will change, the alliance points will change per character, but on my account, I'll have these crystals, I'll have 127 crown gems. I'll have 152 crowns. I'll have 6,000, outfit change tokens, event tickets, and Undying keys. Those will all be on my account. So any character I'm on, I can still use those. Okay? When you pick something up in the game, it usually drops in your supplies, your materials, or your slottable items. If you pick up a staff or a sword, it will drop into your weapons. If you pick up armor, chest, legs, whatever, it will drop here in each individual piece. If you pick up a necklace, it will drop in here. If you pick up a ring, it will drop in here. Okay? So, let's look at my supplies. So right now I have a couple recipes and I have a motif. And if I look at it, I can see that it says it's already in my library, so I've already learned this. I don't need this. This is extra. Same thing with this. If I look at the bottom, it says recipe already known. That means I've already learned it. So if I try to click on it, it's going to tell me up in the top corner, recipe already known. So I could sell this or give it to somebody, which is usually what I do. I give it to, someone that I play with. So, soul gems. These are, when you die, you need a gem to come back to life. Okay? You could either come back to life in the spot you're in, or you go back to a way shrine. Okay? So it's good to have plenty of these because, yeah, you die a lot. Tools. So under here I have repair kits. So if my armor is damaged, so let's look and see if I have any damaged armor. Okay, so if you look at the blue bar, you see how it's down a little bit? And my chest is down a little bit more. If I wanted to fix this, I hit the Y button for equip. Okay, and I hit the repair button. And it's going to use that common repair kit. I'm going to use the grand repair kit. You see that? You see how it gets full? And I click it, and now that piece is now full again for my armor. Okay? So just on that one is the only one that I repaired, was just my chest. So normally what you would do is you go to a town, you go to a merchant, and you would repair everything there for like $500. Depending on how damaged it is. It could be $200, it could be $600. It doesn't matter. But that's where you do it, where you don't have to use these repair kits. Because, sorry, the repair kits are important because you want to be able to use those when you're in a dungeon, when you can't get to a town. So you want to keep those on hand and not necessarily use them to repair your armor unless you really need to. Go to a town, sell your stuff, and repair it at a merchant. It's pretty much X when you get into the merchant. Will repair all of your items for X amount of gold. Okay? Lockpicks. When you find a chest out anywhere, you need a lockpick to pick it, to get into it, to grab the items. And then you'll pick up a bunch of trophies. Okay, these are all parts of, well, these particular ones are ones that I need to return to a museum, and I'll gain experience for doing that. Okay. Materials. I don't really have any materials. Well, this one's stolen, but because I have a craft bag, so normally all my materials drop in here, and this is where I use all these materials to create items. In other words, my provisioning comes out of here. If I want to make a staff or a sword or a piece of armor, it's all going to use these mats to create that. So if you don't have ESO Plus, it's a little difficult to manage all this because you need these materials to make items to do your daily writs. So I would suggest getting it, but I did last a year without it. It was tough, but I did last a year. So good luck with that. Slottable items is something that you're going to use every time you play many times. So in here, you have food. Okay, this is where most of your food goes. It also has your experience stuff. It has potions. Okay, and it has trophies. All right, now these trophies are part of quests that I've done that go in here and I need to finish them. Or if there's an event going on and you get something out of it, like a trophy or something, like this pie is something that happened during the Jester Festival. And I just never really used them, but I have 70 of them and I can throw them at people and do whatever. So these slottable items can be quick slotted. So if I look at the ones that have a check, that means I have them slotted on a quick slot. Quick slot is your keypad. Alright? So if I wanted to slot something, like let's say I wanted to just slot this experience scroll, I'd hit X, and then I'd pick a place to put it in. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so I move around, that one's empty, and I'm going to hit A to assign it. So now it's got a check mark next to it because it's slotted. So on my screen, I have all that stuff where I can see it. So down towards the bottom, underneath my Magicka, which is the blue bar, you're going to see where it says that number right there. So if I push up on that keypad, okay, I can go around and slot something that I want. Alright, so I'm going to slot this potion. This is an experience pod, okay? I made this in provisioning. So if I wanted to use it, all I needed to do was push up really fast, and he'll drink the pot, and it will show up as 50M, which is 50 minutes. I'll get 100% experience. Okay? So that works out pretty good. I also have food on. So there's like a little turkey leg there. 2H is 2 hours. So what I'm going to do is just show you how I did that. So I go back into my slottable items. Well, actually, let me go to my character. So my character at the bottom, if I look, there's that food that I have. And that food provides, it increases my max health by 3,900, my magicka by 3,600, my stamina by 3,600 for 2 hours. So it's pretty good food. And that's ones that you get for your daily reward. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. So I hit the X button and now it's gone. So if I look, it's not there anymore above my health bar, which is red. So right now I have 11,000 health. I have 36k magicka, which is blue. And then I have 9,000 stamina, which is green. So if I wanted to eat food, which you should do all the time because you want the max of everything that you can get when you're out in the world, I'll go back to my inventory. I'll go to my slotted items. I'll find the food that I want, which is this one. Okay, so this one's going to give me 4,600 magicka, 5,000 health, and it's also going to give me health recovery of 505 for 2 hours. Right? So I'm just going to hit the A button to use it. He's going to drink it. Now I'm going to go back and look, and it's right there, 2H. It's got a little pot on top of it. So now I have 7,000 health, 17,000 health, 42k magicka, and 9,000 stamina because that was not a try. It was only for 2 health and magicka. Okay? So I have that for 2 hours. So right now, displayed up there is a buff. I have 2 hours of bonus food and magicka, health and magicka. I have a cake which is from it was 6-year anniversary of ESO the last week. So that's 100% experience for an hour. And I also have the 47-minute experience, 100%, for 47 minutes. So I have those 3 buffs on. If I do this and this, which are buffs for my character, the spells, I did a Y and a B, so I get extra buffs for 25 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it was, and 10 seconds. That will run out, but those are extra buffs, okay? So whenever I fight, that's the first thing I do. Is I buff my character, then go into battle, okay? Alright, so quest items are items that I've picked up while I've been doing quests, and I actually haven't finished these quests yet, so I kind of need to do that. But they'll be in my quest slot, okay? So I'm not really worried about that. So the big thing I wanted to get into after you learn basic inventory stuff is your armor and your weapons. This took me a long time to figure out, and like I said, someone actually explained this to me over time, and I just understood it after a while. So basically, I carry two sets of weapons, okay? I carry two Mother Sorrow staffs, and I carry two Necro staffs, alright? That's the way I can switch back and forth. So let's really break it down. When you look at an item, okay, you'll see damage level and CP, which is anything over 50. Right? The next thing down is going to tell you what the weapon actually does. Okay? And the bonus of the weapon when you have multiple items from that. So the Mother Sorrow staff, okay? If I have two items in a Mother Sorrow, then I'll get an extra 1,000 magicka. If I have three items, then I will get an extra 823 spell crit. Four items, another 823, and five items, 1902 spell crit. So the object is you want to wear five of the same items to get the max bonus of that. Okay? So if I look at it, I'm wearing a Mother Sorrow staff, another Mother Sorrow staff, so that's two. If I scroll down to my neck, I have a Mother Sorrow necklace, that's three. I have a Mother Sorrow ring and another Mother Sorrow ring. So basically what happens is I have five items, so I get the bonus of all of this because I'm wearing those five items. Okay? So that would be called one set. Five items is one set. Okay? So now for me to get another max bonus, I have to look to get another set. So my armor is Necro. So if you look at this, it's a Necro. Alright? It's infused, increase armor enchantment by 20%. And then I'm going to look at the bonuses for this one. So if I wear two of these items, I get another 1096 magicka. Three items, another 1096 magicka. Four items again, 1096 magicka. And if I have a pet active, then my max magicka will be increased by another 3,150. So right there, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7,000 extra magicka for wearing this 5-piece set. Okay? So I'm going to look at my chest is Necro, my waist is Necro, my hands are Necro, my legs are Necro, and my feet are Necro. Again, 5 pieces. So I'm wearing two sets of armor. Well, I'm wearing two sets. One of Mother Sorrow, one of Necro. 10 items, 5 each. So I have these bonuses. And it's big. As you get higher up, um, because the weapons and the armor don't get better after you get to 160 CP, you'll notice that. So as soon as you hit 160 CP and you pick up an item, it doesn't get better if you're 170, 200, 300. You have to start creating these sets to up your skill or your bonuses. Okay? So the last two pieces that I haven't showed you yet is your head and your shoulders. And that's what's called a monster set. So on my head, I'm wearing an Infernal Guardian mask. And if you notice, this one only has two pieces for you to get all these bonuses. It doesn't, not five, two. So you get these from the Undaunted Dungeons, okay? And this one's going to give me an extra 1,000 magicka, but it's pretty cool because when I'm wearing both of them and I put on a shield, it's going to shoot out 3 mortars, flames, okay? And it's going to hit, the target for 7,000 damage, okay? And it procs quite a lot. So I use it when I'm fighting a dragon, when I'm fighting, multiple things, because it doesn't actually hit the one I'm targeting, it hits an ad. So it's pretty good if I'm damaging my main target and I put on my shield, like I always do, it's going to shoot these fireballs at the ads around the target. If there are no ads, it will shoot it at the target. So it is pretty cool. So for me, I have the Infernal Guardian mask on my head, and I have the Infernal Guardian mask on my shoulders. So there are the two pieces. So if I really want to break it down, I'm wearing 3 sets. A 5-piece set of Mother Sorrow, a 5-piece set of Necro, and then a 2-piece monster set. And I get all these additional bonuses. So when I look at my magicka, that's why it's at 42,000. Okay. Now, if I put on a pet, okay, actually I'd have to have another pet, but that's what happens. So you really want to, as you get over 160, you're really going to want to turn around and start to look at what sets are going to, give you better stamina if you're like a Nightblade. Magicka if you're a Sork, Magic Sork. If you're a Sork that's a Stam Sork, then you want to get more stamina. So there's a lot of gear out there to give you better attributes depending on what you want. So it's all up to you to figure it out. Okay? But at least you know where to look. Alright, so let me get that pet off. So if I go to my character again, and I go down to my pet and hit X, I can remove it. Alright, so let's stay in the character sheet. Okay, because it's right underneath the inventory. Basically, when you level, you're gonna get attribute points, and you put them in whatever attribute you want. Now, I'm a magic sork, okay? So my magicka needs to be as high as it possibly can. And I die a lot, so I was kind of worried about putting 0 in health, so I just put 2 in there. Most people, 64 points in magicka and 0 in health and 0 in stamina. Okay. So if I look across, I'm going to see that my magic is 42, my health is 17, my stamina is 9,800, my recovery magic is 14, my recovery health is 1,000, stamina recovery is 600. Spell damage is 17, spell crit is 53, weapons damage is 14, and weapons crit is 20. And then I have spell resistance and physical resistance there. Okay. So if I put on buffs, like I had before, if I do this, and then look at my character, a lot of things went up a little bit. Now my spell damage is 2,000, my spell crit is 53, so it pushes it up, because those give me bonuses from the buff. Okay. My description. So I am a High Elf Sork. I'm at 866 champion points. Okay, my riding speed is 60, my riding capacity is 60, and my riding stamina is 60. That's because I go and do it every time when I first started. So I would go to the guy that has the horses and, pay him and I'll learn. My riding speed will go up by 1. My riding capacity can go up by 1, and so on and so forth. When I go down one more, I have my active effects. That means everything that is on this character buffs, okay? So I have increased experience. My boon is the thief. I have that experience buff from the anniversary cake. I'm an ESO Plus member, and then I have my food, okay? So it's the same thing that I have displayed up above my health bar. Okay, so let's look at one more thing before, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another video because this could go on for another half hour, so I'm going to stop after skills and then make another video of everything else in the inventory or the menu. So your skills. Every time you level, you're going to get skill points. When you finish a quest, you'll get skill points. There's a whole bunch of ways to get skill points, and you're going to be using it to, you know, morph some of your spells. A lot of mine are already morphed, so I can't really show you how to morph one. Well, my grand heal. Okay, so I don't use heal on this character. My pet heals me. But if I wanted to morph this, I hit the A button, and it will give me 2 choices to morph the spell. Okay? And, you know, you pick which one's best for you, what you think your character's going to use. Okay? So let's go back to this. The first thing is when you first start out, you have a weapons bar. Okay? And on the console, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places that you can put a skill. And then you have one more, which is called your ultimate. Okay, and it's usually left and right bumper together will do your ultimate. You have to get to level 15 before it allows you to have 2 bars. Okay, when you're first starting out and you're not to level 15, you're only going to have 1 bar, 5 skills, and an ultimate. Now, if you're a fighter, those skills are going to be 2-handed, 1-handed, dual wield, your bow. Okay, if you're a Sorc or a Templar, you're going to be using spells in those 5. Okay? So it's all up to you and how you do it, but you're not going to have 2 bars until you get to level 15. Then you'll have a backup bar. So for me now, I have 10 skills and 2 ultimates that I can load. Alright, but being a pet Sorc, if I have a pet out on 1 bar, and then I switch bars while I'm in battle, and I don't have that pet on that second bar, the pet's going to disappear. So what happens for me as a pet Sorc, and I run 2 pets, so 2 of those on each bar are going to be dedicated to the pet. So I lose 4 spell spots, or skill spots. You see what I mean? Because I'd have to have the pet. See how the right bumper is my pet, and the right bumper again is the same pet on my back bar. I'm only running 1 pet right now. Right? So you get to pick and choose what spells you want. So let's just say that I'm going to load a spell. So I want to do, I'll do my other pet just to show you. So I hit X to assign, and then I go to where I want it to be. And then I hit A to assign it. So I just put that pet on my back bar. Right? I need to also have it on my primary bar. So I'm going to turn around and choose it again, which is X. Go over to where I want it, A. So now, as I flip through the 2 bars, I have pets on my right bumper and my left bumper at the same time. Okay? On both bars. Alright? When you're also doing your spells or your weapons, whatever skill you're doing, okay, you also want to try to level your blacksmithing, clothing, enchanting, provisioning, and woodworking. Because every time you do your daily writs, you receive money. So it's good for you to do them every day. So basically every day when you log on, you want to do your daily writs, and you also want to go to the stable and get your riding skill, your riding capacity up. Okay? So those are two little things that probably take you 10 minutes when you first log on, and it's going to be a huge benefit as you go forward. Okay? So, if you like the video, hit the follow button on the bottom. I'll be back again to finish up the skills some more. We'll go into champion points, your journal, which is where you see what your quests are that you have listed and how to maneuver around in them. Okay? And I'll show you how to get to your achievements, all the things that you've done in each zone, dungeon, veteran dungeon, holiday events that you've done. It's an easy way to find out where you are, where you need to be. Um, it's a good way to look at it. And then I'll show you how to get in and out of your groups, how to change your voice to either your guild chats, because I'm in 3 guilds, so I have 3 different guild chats. I also have an area chat. If I'm in a group chat will pop up in there, so I can change the channels to who I'm talking to, what I'm hearing, your text chat, your emotes that you get, and your guilds. So if I go into my guild, my first guild is challenged, go into the roster, I can see in my guild who is online right now. Okay? Alright, so I can see my friends who's online. There's really nobody online right now. And I can send mail to people. So I told you that I had recipes, and I wasn't actually going to use them because I've already had them. So usually I would just mail it out to one of my friends. Um, and then he can use them. Okay? Go to attach the file. I'll find the recipes. Right? Oop. I'll find the recipes. I'll attach them. And then I'll hit send. And off it goes. So when he logs on, he'll receive mail from me with those 3 items on it. Okay? So like I said before, if you liked it, hit follow. And I'll be back again. Thanks, Ben. Have a great night.